One Piece arc explained, starting with Romance Dawn. It begins with Luffy as a child in the village of Fuchsia. He idolizes a pirate named Red-Haired Shanks. But one day, Luffy accidentally eats a devil fruit called the Gomu Gomu no Mi, which gives him the ability to stretch like rubber, but takes away his ability to swim. Fast forward a bit, a bandit named Higuma captures Luffy, but Shanks saves him, losing his arm in the process. Shanks then leaves the village, inspiring Luffy to become a pirate and find the legendary treasure, the One Piece. The story jumps forward a bit to Luffy's present day, where he meets a young boy named Kobe, who's being forced to work for a female pirate named Alvida. Luffy defeats, inspired by Luffy's courage. They set sail together to find the marine base at Shellstown. Luffy and Kobe arrive at Shellstown, where they encounter the infamous pirate hunter, Roronoa Zoro, who is being held captive by the marine officer Captain Morgan and his son Helmeppo. Luffy frees Zoro, and they team up to defeat Morgan and liberate the town. Zoro then joins Luffy's crew as his first mate, and Kobe stays behind to join the Marines. Moving on to the Orangetown arc, Luffy and Zoro arrive at Orangetown, where they meet a person named Nami, a skilled navigator and thief who despises pirates with all their being. They learn that the town is under the control of the cruel pirate captain, Buggy the Clown, who possesses the power of the Bara no Mi, allowing him to separate his own body parts. Buggy captures Luffy, and Nami initially betrays Luffy, but later regrets her actions. She then teams up with Luffy and Zoro to fight Buggy. During the battle, it's revealed that Buggy and Shanks were once crewmates. Luffy ultimately defeats Buggy by taking advantage of his power's weaknesses. So after defeating him, Luffy invites Nami to join his crew as their navigator, but she initially refuses, stating that she only wants to team up for convenience. The crew then sets sail from Orangetown to continue their adventure. Syrup Village arc. Syrup Village begins with Luffy, Zoro, and Nami, who arrive at the village and meet a local boy named Usopp. Usopp is known for being a liar and idolizing his father, Usopp, who is a pirate and a member of Red-Haired Shanks' crew. Usopp often tells tales to Kaya, a sickly girl who lives in a mansion on the village's outskirts. Kaya's caretaker is Klahadore, a stern butler who despises Usopp. The crew discovers that Klahadore is actually known as Kuro and is a former pirate who faked his own death. Kuro plans to kill Kaya and seize her fortune with the help of his Black Cat pirates. Usopp overhears this plan of Kuro's, but is not believed by the villagers due to his reputation of being a liar. Luffy and his crew agree to help Usopp protect the village and set traps to prevent the Black Cat pirates from reaching Kaya's mansion. A fierce battle ensues between the Straw Hat pirates and the Black Cat pirates. Zoro battles the Meowbin brothers, while Luffy confronts Kuro himself. Despite the threat, Luffy manages to defeat Kuro, saving Kaya. Kaya, grateful to Usopp and the Straw Hats, offers them a ship named the Going Merry. It is then that Usopp joins Luffy's crew, inspired by their courage and wanting to follow in his father's footsteps. Baratie. The Straw Hats arrive at the Baratie, a floating restaurant owned by a pirate-turned-chef named Zeph. Luffy accidentally damages the restaurant and is forced to work there as a dishwasher to pay for the damages. The crew then meets Sanji, a talented cook who dreams of finding the All Blue, a legendary sea where fish from all oceans come together. A starving pirate named Jin then arrives at the Baratie, and Sanji feeds him despite his menacing appearance. But Jin later returns with his captain Don Krieg, a ruthless pirate known for his massive fleet. Don Krieg demands food and then betrays the restaurant by attempting to take it all over. Luffy eventually defeats this Don Krieg using his sheer willpower and strength, earning Zeph's respect in the process. But during all the chaos, Nami sneakily steals the Going Merry and heads towards her village of Kokoyashi. But also during the battle, Dracule Mihawk, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, arrives. Zoro challenges Mihawk, revealing his dream to become the world's greatest swordsman. But Mihawk easily dispatches Zoro, but spares his life, impressed by his resolve. Zoro vows to never lose again until he achieves his goal. After the battle, Sanji is initially reluctant to leave the restaurant, feeling indebted to Zeph, who saved his life years ago. However, Zeph encourages Sanji to follow his dreams, and he joins the Straw Hat Pirates as their cook. The crew sets sail for their next adventure with Sanji on board, which brings us to Arlong Park. The Straw Hat Pirates arrive at Kokoyashi Village, Nami's hometown, which is under the control of a group of fishermen led by the ruthless Arlong. Nami is revealed to have been working with Arlong, but it's soon discovered that she's actually trying to buy back her village from from him. The crew learns that Nami's adoptive mother was killed by Arlong when Nami and her sister were young. Arlong betrays Nami, taking her money and refusing to free the village as promised. So in her despair, Nami asks Luffy for help, and in this iconic scene, Luffy places his straw hat on her head, symbolizing his trust, and shouts to the skies that he will save her village. And with that, Luffy decides to confront Arlong and his crew head on, while Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp join the battle as well. The Straw Hats storm Arlong Park, engaging in battles with the powerful fishmen. Luffy discovers the charts and maps Nami was forced to draw for Arlong and destroys the room in anger. He at last defeats Arlong, collapsing the building and liberating the village at last. The villagers celebrate their freedom, and Nami officially joins the Straw Hat Pirates. The crew receives a bounty for their actions, with Luffy becoming a wanted man with a 30 million berry bounty. The arc ends with the crew setting sail for the next destination, Loguetown, where they plan to resupply before heading to the Grand Line. Loguetown. Loguetown is the final arc of the East Blue Saga, and it begins with the Straw Hat Pirates arriving at Loguetown, the town where Gold Roger, or Gold D. Roger, the Pirate King, was born and executed in. They stock up on supplies to prepare their ship, the Going Merry, for their journey into the Grand Line. Supplies to prepare their ship, the Going Merry, for their journey into the Grand Line. Luffy visits the execution platform where Goldie Roger was slain, reaffirming his dream to become the Pirate King. He then encounters Captain Smoker, a marine officer with the power of the Moku Moku no Mi. Zoro, meanwhile, acquires 2 new swords from a sword shop and meets Tashigi, another marine officer who looks oddly similar to his deceased childhood friend Kuina. Nami purchases new clothes and navigational tools, while Usopp upgrades his slingshot and ammunition. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Usopp has a slingshot. It's really cool. Anyway, suddenly, Buggy the Clown and Alvida attack Luffy, who was nearly executed on the very same platform as Goldie Roger. But he is saved by a lightning bolt and escapes from Buggy, Alvida, and Captain Smoker. Smoker chases after Luffy, but is saved by a mysterious man named Dragon. Dragon's intervention allows the Straw Hat Pirates to escape, leaving Smoker puzzled by Dragon's motives. Straw Hat Pirates depart from Loguetown, setting sail for the Grand Line, with Luffy excitedly proclaiming the real adventure begins now, the Alabasta Saga. The Alabasta Saga has 5 arcs, starting with Reverse Mountain, where we see the Straw Hats consisting of Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji sail towards Reverse Mountain, an entrance to the Grand Line. The mountain features 4 rivers that flow uphill, converging at its peak and flowing down into the Grand Line. The crew successfully climbs the mountain, encountering a Laboon, a massive whale that attacks their ship. Luffy and the others enter Laboon's stomach to find a way out and meet Crocus, who explains that Laboon has been waiting for a pirate crew that promised to return for him 50 years ago. Luffy sympathizes with Laboon and paints the Straw Hat flag on his head as a promise to return and continue their fight. Laboon agrees to stop hurting himself while waiting for the Straw Hat's return. The crew leaves Laboon behind and enters the Grand Line, receiving crucial information about the Grand Line in the process and a log post compass for navigating the unique magnetic fields. The arc ends with the crew excited about their upcoming adventures in the Grand Line. Whiskey Peak. The Straw Hat Pirates arrive at Whiskey Peak, a town known for its hospitality towards pirates. The crew, except Zoro, becomes intoxicated and becomes suspicious of the townspeople. It's then revealed that Whiskey Peak is a trap set by the Baroque Works, a secret criminal organization. Zoro battles the Baroque Works agents, showcasing his swordsmanship and defeating several of them. Luffy misunderstands what's going on and fights with Zoro. Miss Wednesday, Princess Vivi of Alabasta, pleads for their help. Vivi and her bodyguard, Mr. Nine, reveal their identities and infiltrate Baroque Works to stop its leader, Crocodile. The Straw Hats agree to help Vivi and defeat the remaining agents, including Mr. Five and Miss Valentine, who arrive to eliminate Vivi. They take Vivi and her pet duck, Karoo, as they set sail to Alabasta to stop Crocodile. Vivi informs them of the next island, Little Garden, where they can continue their adventure. Little Garden. The Straw Hats, Princess Vivi, and her pet duck, Karoo, arrive at Little Garden. They encounter 2 giants, Dory and Brogy, who've been dueling for over 100 years. The giants claim to be from Elbaf, the land of giants. It is then that the crew is attacked by Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week, agents from the criminal organization Baroque Works. Mr. 3 uses his Doru Doru no Mi powers to create wax sculptures, trapping Dory, Brogy, Sanji and some of the crew. Luffy and Usopp rescue their crewmates and the Giants. Sanji intercepts a call from Mr. Zero, the leader of Baroque Works, and tricks him into thinking Mr. 3 was actually successful. The Straw Hats and Giants celebrate their victory, and the Giants express gratitude by helping the crew leave Little Garden, Drum Island. The crew sets sail to Alabasta. However, Nami falls ill, and the crew heads to Drum Island in search of a doctor. The crew arrives at Drum Island, a snowy kingdom ruled by a selfish King Wapol, who fled the island when it was attacked by the pirate Blackbeard. The villagers inform them of Dr. Kuriha, who lives on top of Drum Castle, so of course they start their ascent. But during the climb, Sanji gets injured from an avalanche, so Luffy has to carry both Sanji and Nami to the castle. They learn that Chopper is Dr. Kuriha's assistant, and is a reindeer who ate the Hito Hito no Mi, giving him the ability to transform into a human-reindeer hybrid. Chopper was shunned by both humans and reindeer alike, but was taken in by Dr. Hirolik, who taught him the importance of helping others. Wapol returns to the island with the intent of reclaiming his throne. They reveal their Baku Baku no Mi ability, allowing him to eat anything and take on its properties. Luffy battles Wapol and defeats him, freeing the island from his tyranny. After the defeat of Wapol, Chopper initially hesitates to join Luffy's crew, feeling unworthy. However, Dr. Kuriha encourages him to follow his dream, and Chopper joins the Straw Hats as their doctor. The crew sets sail from Drum Island with their new member, Chopper. Alabasta. Alabasta is the final arc of the Alabasta saga, and it does not disappoint. The Straw Hat pirates with Princess Vivi arrive in the kingdom of Alabasta. The country is in turmoil due to civil war, which was instigated by the Baroque Works organization. They encounter Luffy's brother there, Portgas the Ace, who is pursuing a pirate named Blackbeard. Ace provides valuable assistance to the crew before departing. The crew splits up to fight against the top agents of Baroque Works. Luffy faces off against Crocodile finally, the head villain, but loses due to Crocodile's ability to dehydrate people. Miraculously, Luffy survives his first battle with Crocodile, and with the help from Vivi and her allies, challenges Crocodile again. It's here where we also see Nico Robin, or Miss All Sunday, reading a poneglyph. Poneglyphs are large, mysterious blocks with historical knowledge inscribed on them in an ancient script. They're scattered amongst the islands across the world, and the only known person able to read these things is Nico Robin herself. In their final battle, Luffy uses his blood to counter Crocodile's powers and defeats him at last. During this time, the rest of the crew prevents a bomb from destroying Alabasta and stops the rebel army from attacking, with Vivi's plea for peace being heard. With the threat over, the crew prepares to leave. But before doing so, the crew raises their hands with the symbol of friendship, showing their bond with Vivi. After leaving Alabasta, the crew was surprised to find Nico Robin, Crocodile's former partner, on their ship. She asks to join the crew, and despite their initial skepticism, Luffy accepts her in, making her the new archaeologist of the Straw Hat Pirates. The Sky Island Saga. The Sky Island Saga has two arcs, starting with Jaya. The Straw Hat Pirates arrive at Jaya, a lawless island known for its pirates. Their mission is to find information on reaching Skypia, a legendary island in the sky. They encounter Bellamy, a pirate who mocks their dreams and dismisses those who dream of impossible things. Luffy refuses to fight this character, but Zoro is ready if needed. Mont Blanc Cricket, a descendant from Mont Blanc Noland, claims to have seen a city of gold on Jaya. They discover that reaching Skypia is possible through a knock-up stream, a powerful geyser that launches ships into the sky. Bellamy and his crew steal Cricket's treasure, but Luffy decides to fight for his dream, as he always does. So Luffy defeats Bellamy with a single punch, proving that dreams should never be mocked. Blackbeard, who shares Luffy's belief in dreams, plans to capture Luffy for his bounty. Cricket helps the Straw Hats prepare for the dangerous journey, providing them with dials and necessary equipment. The crew uses the knock-up stream to launch into the sky while Blackbeard watches from the shore, vowing to capture them someday. Skypia. Skypia is the second and final arc of the Sky Island Saga. The Straw Hat Pirates arrive on the Sky Island of Skypia, where they encounter the Sky People, divided into two factions, the Skypians and the Shandians. They learn about Enel, the self-proclaimed god of Skypia, who uses his power to control lightning. They also discover the legendary city of gold, Shandora, within Skypia. The crew explores Upper Yard, a massive forest where Shandora is located, and encounters dangers like giant snakes and strange creatures. In a climactic battle, Luffy defeats Enel, liberating Skypia and ending his reign of terror. The crew learns the tragic backstory of Mont Blanc Noland and Kalgara, a Shandian warrior who is executed for proving the existence of the City of Gold. Luffy then rings the golden bell of Shandora, reconnecting the Shandians with with their ancestral heritage. The Straw Hats are celebrated as heroes and receive a golden pillar as a reward, which they melt down to create gold coins. They then leave Skypia using a giant octopus balloon for their next adventure, the Water 7 Saga. The Water 7 Saga has 4 arcs, starting with the Long Ring Long Land arc. Straw Hat pirates arrive at Long Ring Long Land, an island with long and stretched features. They encounter a group of pirates known as the Foxy Pirates, led by Captain Foxy, who challenge them to a Davy back fight. The first game is the Donut Race, where Foxy uses his Noronoru beam to win and take Chopper as a prize. The second game is Groggy Ring, where Zoro and Sanji team up to win the match. The Straw Hats win back Chopper from Foxy. The final game is a one-on-one combat match between Luffy and Foxy, where Luffy faces difficulties with Foxy's Noronoru beam, but ultimately wins because of his Afro Luffy form, the most overpowered form in all of anime. The Straw Hats take Foxy's Jolly Roger as a prize. After the Davy back fight, the Straw Hats encounter Admiral Aokiji, one of the 3 admirals of the Marines. Aokiji reveals that he is interested in Nico Robin, and he tests the crew's strength. Aokiji easily dispatches Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, and leaves after warning Robin not to bring trouble to the crew. Water 7. The Straw Hat pirates arrive at Water 7, a city known for its canals and shipbuilding, to repair their ship, the Going Merry. They meet the shipwrights, including Iceberg the Mare and Frankie, a cyborg ship dismantler. The shipwrights declare the Going Merry irreparable, causing a lot of tension between Luffy and Usopp. The Frankie family steals the crew's money and just beats up Usopp in the process. The crew decided to get their revenge back in blood and destroyed the Frankie family and their home. Luffy inevitably does decide to part ways with the Going Merry. However, Usopp insists on keeping the ship and challenges Luffy to a duel, which Luffy wins. An assassination attempt is made on Iceberg, and evidence points to the Straw Hat pirates, apparently. The true culprits are the secret group CP9, led by Rob Lucci, who have infiltrated the Galley Law Company. CP9 seeks blueprints for an ancient weapon, Pluton, which Iceberg possesses and is passed on to Frankie. They end up capturing Robin and Frankie, taking them to Enies Lobby, a judicial island controlled by the world government. Straw Hats pursue CP9 and rescue Robin, who was blackmailed into joining them. Enies Lobby. The Straw Hat pirates, along with their allies, arrive at Enies Lobby to rescue Nico Robin and Frankie. Luffy and the crew burn the world government's flag as a declaration of war to rescue Robin. Luffy battles Bluno, one of the CP9 agents, and showcases his new technique, Gear Second, which increased his speed and strength. And then he just absolutely destroys him. It's then that Luffy is face to face with Rob Lucci and battles him off in a fierce duel, showcasing his new technique, Gear Third. Usopp encourages Luffy to keep fighting, leading to his inevitable victory over Lucci. The world government initiates a Buster Call, a devastating naval bombardment to destroy Enies Lobby and everyone on it. The Straw Hats barely have enough time to escape with the help of their old friend, the Going Merry, for one last time. With that, the Straw Hats set fire to the Going Merry, which has been through thick and thin with them this entire time, and the Straw Hats give an emotional goodbye to not just their ship, but their friend. The world then learns of the Straw Hat pirates' defiance against the world government, marking them major enemies. Post-Enies Lobby. After rescuing Nico Robin, the Straw Hats return to Water 7. Robin reveals her new dream to uncover the true history of the world by finding the Rio Poneglyph. It's then we're introduced to Luffy's grandfather, Monkey D. Garp, who visits Water 7 and reveals his identity as a Marine Vice Admiral. He reveals that Luffy's father is Monkey D. Dragon, the leader of the Revolutionary Army, shocking the crew. The crew learns about the new threats in this world, including Blackbeard, Marshal D. Teach's rise, and the impending war between the Marines and Whitebeard. Frankie joins the crew as their shipwright, and the new ship, the Thousand Sunny, becomes their vessel. Usopp, who had temporarily left the crew, reconciles with Luffy and rejoins. The Thriller Bark Saga. Thriller Bark has only one arc, which is Thriller Bark. The Straw Hats encounter a ghost ship where they meet Brook, a living skeleton who is a musician also. Brook reveals that he ate the Yomi Yomi no Mi, a devil fruit that allows the users to return to life after death. The Straw Hats arrive at Thriller Bark, a massive ghost ship resembling an island. Gekko Moria, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, uses his devil fruit powers to steal shadows from people, creating an army of zombies. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji have their shadows stolen, creating powerful zombie warriors they must defeat. Moria uses Luffy's shadow to create a formidable opponent, Oars. The crew teams up to fight Oars using teamwork, and Luffy confronts Moria with a new form called Nightmare Luffy and defeats him. But after all that, Bartholomew Kuma arrives with orders to eliminate the Straw Hat Pirates. Luffy, left vulnerable due to sleeping, is targeted by Kuma, but Zoro offers himself in exchange for Luffy's life. Kuma transfers all of Luffy's pain and fatigue to Zoro, leaving him at a near-death state, but sparing Luffy. Brook joins the Straw Hat Pirates as their musician, and he also reveals that he knows Laboon from his time and made a promise to return to him when he was finished sailing. The arc ends with the crew sailing away from Thriller Bark, ready for their next adventure, the Summit War Saga. The Summit War Saga has a total of 5 arcs, starting with the Sabaody Archipelago. Straw Hat Pirates arrive at the Sabaody Archipelago, a gateway to the New World. They learn about the 11 supernovas, rookie pirates with bounties over 100 million berries, including characters like Eustace Kid, Trafalgar Law, Scratchman Apu, Killer, Jewelry Bonnie, Hawkins, X-Drake, Yarouge, Capone Bedge, Zoro, and Monkey D. Luffy. The crew also encounters the Celestial Dragons, aristocratic descendants of the founders of the world government who inhabit the archipelago. They rescue a mermaid named Cammy, who is captured by traffickers and put up for auction at the Sabaody auction house. Luffy don't care about the status of the Celestial Dragons and punches one of them, Charlos, for shooting Hachi, causing an uproar. The Straw Hats' actions attract the attention of the Marines, and Admiral Kizaru, with his speed of light ability, overwhelms the crew. And a group of powerful cyborgs called the Pacifista, led by Bartholomew Kuma, join the fray as well. Rayleigh helps the crew by stalling Kizaru, and Rayleigh used to be a part of Goldie Roger's crew, by the way, but Kuma uses his power to send each member flying to different locations around the world. Luffy is forced to watch his friends vanish one by one, leaving him devastated and alone. After being sent to the island of Amazon Lily, Luffy realizes he needs to become stronger in order to protect his friends. Amazon Lily. So as stated, Luffy was separated from his crew by Kuma, and he lands on Amazon Lily, an island in the Calm Belt inhabited by the Kuja tribe. Initially taken captive by the Kuja, Luffy's devil fruit powers shock the Kuja warriors. Boa Hancock, the ruler of Amazon Lily and one of the 7 warlords of the sea, is initially cruel, but due to Luffy's genuine nature and refusal to fear her beauty, he eventually wins over Hancock's favor. She reveals her tragic past as a slave to the world nobles, where she and her sisters were branded with the Celestial Dragon's mark and force-fed devil fruits. Luffy covers the marks to protect their shame, earning Hancock's respect. Luffy learns that his brother Ace is set to be executed by the Marines, and Hancock, who has fallen in love with Luffy at this point, agrees to help him infiltrate Impel Down, the underwater prison where Ace is being held. Hancock takes Luffy aboard her ship and uses her status as a warlord to gain access to Impel Down. The arc ends with Luffy determined to save his brother, leading to the Impel Down arc. Impel Down. Upon arriving at the underwater prison, he faces various levels filled with dangerous traps and enemies, including Buggy the Clown and Mr. 3, who joins Luffy as a distraction. They battle against monstrous foes like Magellan, who poison Luffy and leaves him basically dead. Mr. 2 Bon Clay saves him and takes him to Emporio Ivankov, a revolutionary army commander imprisoned on level 5. They then form a group to rescue Ace and break through to level 6, the lowest level of the prison where Ace is being kept. However, Ace has already been taken to Marineford for his execution, but they encounter people like Crocodile and Jinbei. The group makes a desperate escape from Impel Down, fighting off guards and obstacles. They manage to hold off Magellan with Mr. 3's wax powers and use a marine ship to sail to Marineford to save Ace. Marineford. The arc begins with Porcus D. Ace captured by the Marines and sentenced to execution at Marineford, the Marine headquarters. Ace is the 2nd Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates and the son of the former pirate king, Goldie Roger. Whitebeard arrives in Marineford with his pirate crew to also rescue Ace. And with that, the Marines prepare for battle with the help of the 7 warlords of the sea. Luffy, along with other escapees from Impel Down, also arrive to rescue Ace, and Luffy clashes with powerful opponents, including the warlords, admirals, and even his own grandfather, while making his way towards his brother. Whitebeard, despite his age and injuries, demonstrates his overwhelming strength, causing massive destruction. But eventually, Luffy